Stoney Progressive Takedown. This week I wanted to do a bigger name while we try to build this up. A bigger name from my home state of Michigan. And Rashida Tlaib. She was I believe she was one of the original Justice Democrats and a progressive voice, of course. I don't actually say that she is a progressive. I'd say she is a progressive voice because that's what the Democrats would call her. If you are from her district or have an issue, 202-225-5126, 202-225-5126. That is her DC office. That is how you push these congressional members, is by leaving voicemails, leaving many voicemails, addressing concerns, be direct, be sharp, do it during the day so they actually are there. And if they have 1,000 messages about one topic, they will start to move. They will start to reform. And again, the basic clerk's office gets you what their committees are: Committee of Financial Services, Committee of Natural Resources, the Committee on Oversight and Reform, Civil Rights and Civil Liberties. She's a lawyer. So big family, Detroit, and lawyer. That's the things I knew about her going in. So I didn't actually get to her on this. I was having a open secrets. She was on the floor complaining about having student debt, and so when you go to her open secrets page, there it is. She has about $88,000 of student loans, but she does have a rental property, some sort of like a savings, and a house. So she has a rental property, but $80,000 of student loan. So she's made her choices. And again, this is somebody who has $80,000 of student loan, but makes $174,000 a year. With all of your benefits paid for by the government, she's having a rough time, I guess. For assets worth $100,000 to $400,000. She has a real estate property. That just said $175,000. This says $100,000 to $250,000. With everything on the planet spiking, I'm sure that house might have been worth $100,000, but it's now worth $300,000. A small savings account, again, that said 16. An IRA, small IRA, and so she's not. It doesn't show that she's well off. She's only been in it for a short time, and she's actually trying to fight. But as we know, with everybody, always got to follow the money. And not so many big investors here. This is definitely cleaner than AOC just being funded by University of California and the Alphabet Company. Definitely a lot of bigger businesses, but not an overall mass amount. She's not going to have any PACs. That's one thing she's clean on. But she did get a bit of money from that first round from Microsoft, University of California, an engineering company, U of M, real estate group, and of course, Move On. Well, Move On is going to be small donors. Apple and Alpha Inc. That's Google and Apple. There we are. Always putting their dipping into the progressives. Good for them. So again, she's pretty new. She ran last general election. She took her district pretty well. This is Detroit and the greater Detroit area. Cities typically run blue. Rural areas typically run red. Why do all cities vote blue? Because they're cities. Because you have empathy for people when you work next to them all day, I guess. I don't know. But she took the area pretty well, and she took her primary right away. So she has a district that won't really push her too hard as far as getting primary a second time. Now that she's in the seat, they probably won't push her. But I guess she what is going on here? So they had a recount? She won on a recount? All sorts of weird. So yeah, she's not perfect. Her money comes from Microsoft and Alphabet
for working
Company,
with
as
me on
always.
this important amendment and for their leadership on this bill. I can't thank him enough and look forward to him one day coming to my district to come and visit one of our VA hospitals that we love and cherish. The transition of being an active duty to be for our veterans is not easy, transitioning from being active duty. And eVest Act helps with that transition and makes life easier for those who served our nation. This act is also a great opportunity to review the automatic enrollment programs and learn what works and what doesn't, because ensuring effective implementation is critical to its success. I'm a social worker at heart, and we have to make sure and ensure that our veterans' lives are changing for the better with this bill. So my amendment ensures the lessons learned during the implementation of the program are preserved for other agencies, as well as to learn, again, what to do and what not to do. And again, I appreciate, again, the committee and for working with me on this, and look forward for my colleagues in supporting this amendment. And I also look forward to working with the committee on a number of other issues impacting our veterans, especially veteran suicide and access to mental health services. With that, I yield, and again, thank the committee.
Well, that sounds like a positive. That's all you gotta do. Try to find somebody you agree with 75% of the time. And I don't know, she's in that 50-60% range from what I watch. She does a lot of corporate Democrat stuff still. She voted for Pelosi. That's always negative. Nope.
Of the people have a Madam Speaker, I rise today to make it clear that we as representatives of the people have a clear mandate to protect, restore, and expand voting rights in our nation. In my hometown of Detroit, election workers and community members were intimidated, shouted at, disrespected for simply counting the votes of our community, a majority Black community, in November of 2020. People banged on the windows, Madam Speaker, from the counting room, just because they didn't want Black and brown votes to be counted. Our community was treated like we were unworthy of making our voices heard at the ballot box. This should not be so complicated. If our colleagues in the Senate fail to pass the Freedom to Vote, the John Lewis Act, and their inaction will send a clear message to folks that support voter suppression. Voter suppression is not okay. It simply is not. Intimidating our election workers is not okay. Inaction is not an option, and we must deliver for the people. Thank you, and I yield.
Voter repression is not okay. City of Detroit lost 100,000 ballots. Or no, it was 20,000 ballots in the city of Detroit were lost, and they're said to be Bernie votes in the primary against Hillary 2015, 2016. So no, all votes should be counted. That state should have been recounted, and Hillary should have not taken anything out of Michigan. But the Democratic Party doesn't actually care about if your vote counts. They like to say it only on the national election. They don't care about their primary elections. So that's the Democrats. She wouldn't want to bring that up, but we can scream about voting rights right now. That's fine. So yeah, that's Rashida Tlaib in a quick overview. Not the worst. Her money isn't horrible, but as always, they all have connections. They're all in it. Nobody's clean once they get there. So I am going to set up Kevin McCarthy. While I do that, we are going to check out Luke of We Are Change old video. I'm